I'm Maya, and I recently just got back from LeakyCon 2011, and I was going to make a video about that, and I keep trying to make a video about that, and it isn't working. So I'm just gonna talk about it. I was there for the whole conference, and I went to Lit Day 2, and I had everyone sign my copy of Deathly Hallows. You know, it's really beat up. I actually was trying to get Hank to sign it, Hank Green, and he was like, "That's the most defaced copy of Deathly Hallows I've ever seen in my life." I'm like, "No, it's loved." But I did get him to sign it. If you can see, it says Hank Green, DFTBA. I'm just gonna talk about celebrity encounters. But I saw Hank on the very first night, and I was like, he was standing in the hallway and he was signing stuff, but he looked sort of like flustered because he was doing a show later that evening. He was doing the opening ceremonies and he sang Asio Deathly Hallows. So I walked up to him and I was like, Hi, I have stuff for you. And I gave him the cross stitch, because I cross stitched the Nerd Fighter chant. And so someone was like, "Oh, what does it say?" And he was like, "Yes, it's the Nerd Fighter chant." And I was like, "Yes, And so I gave that to him, and then I came back, because I forgot that I had a Hogwarts letter and a dictionary for him. So then I gave him the Hogwarts letter, and he was like, "Whoa, I've always wanted one of these." And then I gave him the dictionary, and he thought that was cool, but I can't remember exactly what he said about it. But, and then I left, and then I came back again, and I was like, "Wait, you have to sign Deathly Hallows." He was like, "Okay." And so he signed it, and then he said the thing about the book being defaced. And then I came back another time, and I'm like, "Wait, now you have to take a picture with me." He was like, "You keep coming back." I'm like, "They keep killing Susie." He was like, "Okay." And then I took a picture, and then he walked away. I also met John on that first night, which was really lucky because he left before the end of the conference, and I didn't see him again after that first night. So I didn't manage to get his signature because he was sort of busy, and I didn't manage to give him his Hogwarts letter either, although I did give it to Hank to give to him. And so I gave him the cross-stitch and the dictionary, and he thought the cross-stitch was really cool. And if you remember, that was the Looking for Alaska one. The Thomas Edison's last words were, "It's very beautiful over there. I don't know where there is, but I believe it's somewhere, and I hope it's beautiful," which is a really long thing to cross-stitch, by the way. So I gave that to him and the fandom dictionary, and he thought that was really cool. He thought it was awesome, and he was like going through it. He's like, "Oh, Alex Day will be so glad to see that Alex reads Twilight is in there." He's like, "And of course 9 refers to the 9th Doctor. Ooh, pink sunglasses. Pizza John," because I was wearing my Pizza John shirt. And he was talking about how it was really weird because he couldn't walk down a hallway without seeing his own face on someone's shirt. So he thought the dictionary was really neat, and then we took a picture with him. Well, I took a picture with him, and he was talking. Hannah was like, I don't have a dictionary for you, but can I have a hug?" He was like, "I'm sorry, I can't. My therapist said that I'm not allowed to give hugs because I have this social anxiety disorder, but I'm doing really well to actually be here." Then it was funny because he went home, but not because of that. He was ill. So I was really glad that I got to find him, and I'm going to get his signature on my pre-ordered copy of The Fault in Our Stars anyway. That was his signature. J Scribble. So, I've only done Hank and John Green now. And then I stood in line for a really long time for Scott Westerfeld to get his signature at the book signing, but I couldn't manage it. They kicked me out of line, so I was really, really upset because I didn't think he was an attendee of the actual conference. I thought he was just staying for Lit Day. And so I was like, well, now I'm not going to see him ever again, and it's sad, and I have a cross-stitch for him and a Hogwarts letter. But then I saw him the next night. I lost my phone after Deathly Hallows, and I was going to look for it out in the hallway, and I was like, "Is that Scott Westerfeld? it is Scott Westerfeld! Wait, I have stuff for you! So I sort of went running after him, and he signed Deathly Hallows too. All of these signatures are from famous people, if you were wondering. It says, to Maya, thanks for the stitched quote, Scott Westerfeld, and then it's dated. And I was really happy about that, and I gave him the cross-stitch, and then he tweeted it. He was like, a very special cross-stitch, because, you know, it was the, I don't want to hurt you, but I will if I have to, which is a quote from his book Specials, and then I was like, oh, that makes me feel so special, and it was just a very punny night. But he tweeted it, and then I got a picture with him, and then he started following me on Twitter. Okay, moving on. I got Stephanie Perkins' signature, who is the author of Anna and the French Kiss, and she wrote, Hi Maya, DFTBA and HP Forever. I got Christina Horner's, and I think this is one of the girls from Deathly Hallows, Part 2, maybe Young Lily. I got Neil Cicierega, who's the Potter Puppet Pals guy, and funny thing, I didn't actually know that it was him when he was signing my book. Like, I was trying to get someone else to sign it, one of the DeGeorge brothers, and I was, like, holding it out to them, like, waiting, and then Neil just, like, grabs my book and starts signing it. I'm like, well, if you think you're impressive enough to sign Deathly Hallows, I probably want your signature, so thanks! And then later he had the puppet out, and he was taking pictures with Ivana Lynch, and I was like, yeah, you are! And then there's Luke Connard and Franco, and oh, there's John Noe, and right here, John Noe, and then Jim Povolo. He's like so tall and I'm so short, so I gave him his Hogwarts letter, and then he's like bending over to sign it, and then he like writes, "You're cool," and then he like looks up at me and he's like, and then he walks away, and I was like, he thinks I'm cool. Ryan Turner, who plays Hugo. Maya, keep making the world magical. Let's see. Voldemort, Jamie Lynn Beatty. Maureen Johnson. I don't know who that is, but it's someone important. This one too. That's the problem. I just had everyone sign it, so it's like, I know I only got people who I thought were really, really special, but I don't know which one they are. There's, Joe Moses, sorry, Matt Lang, and Lauren Lopez. There's Joe Walker, Tyler Brunsman. I got Joey Richter. I had a cross-stitch for him, and he was in the little celebrity booth. Nicole and I stood outside that on the last night for like an hour and a half, trying to give all the Hogwarts letters to the Star Kids, because I stood in line for the Star Kids signing for 4 hours, and then they sent me away. So I was trying to get those to them, and I was like, Joey, no, come here, I have stuff for you. And then he came over, and I was like, look, I've got a cross-stitch and a Hogwarts letter. And he was like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, fine. I have so much stuff for you. And I gave him the cross-stitch, and he thought it was cool because it was from Inception. And I was like, I haven't seen Inception, but apparently it's a favorite movie of yours. He was like, that's so cool. And I got David Levithan's. He wasn't signing Harry Potter books, which was weird. So I was like, okay, you don't have to sign my Harry Potter book. I'll have you sign a page of my notebook, and then I'll just tape it in. He was like, I hate you. He didn't actually say that, but he thought my Pizza John shirt was weird. And then Alex Carpenter and Skyway Flyer. That's Jason Monday, and Christian Caldera. I got those before. And a couple more of the young Potter cast. There's Benedict Clark and all them. And I can't actually remember who this was again. I know exactly what she looks like, and I know she's an author, but I can't remember what her name is or what books she wrote. But And I got Kaylee, I'll say hoot, and she wrote hoot. And guess who else I got? Huh? Yeah, Ivana Lynch! She signed it, and I gave her the Hogwarts letter and the cross stitch, and she thought that was cool, and she wrote, "To Maya, lots of love, Ivana Lynch." Yay, because I tried to stand in line for that, and it was way too long, so I didn't. So I was worried that I would miss her, and I would just have to send it in like a fan letter, but I didn't. So yeah, here I have all of the Star Kids except Darren and Julia, and I have Ivana Lynch, and I have all of the Young Potter cast but Will Dunn, who is there. And it's just pretty fantastic, and I caught Hank and John Green, and it was an amazing week, and Brian Holden said hi, and Matt Lang is the sweetest person, and I kept coming back to Hank Green, and I was like, hi, also can you give this to your brother, and did you lose the dictionary? And he did, but that's okay. So yeah, if you want to know more about it, I guess you can just ask me, or like what actually went on at the conference besides me meeting famous people. So DFTBA, I love you all, and whatever.